the ones.
Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to the Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, March the 3rd, 2015. President Dark, Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1. Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2. Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Mr. Cecine?
Okay. Item 2 will be the prayer, Judge, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's bow our heads. Is it on or no?
It's on.
No está prendida.
No, está prendido.
Judge, he's on his way, Judge. Judge, he's on his way.
No la prendiste a él.
No, ya está prendido, está bien.
We're good?
Okay, Raul.
Okay. Okay. If I may, let's bow our heads. Father God, we give you thanks for this day that you've given us. We give you thanks for the opportunity to come serve you, Lord. I ask that you provide wisdom to this board of directors, commissioners, Lord, to myself, all the people of the county and the district, Lord. May it may serve for the betterment of the community, Lord. I ask all this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Under open forum, did anyone sign up for drainage? All right. Under our consent agenda, any concerns?
No, sir. We have our check register.
Need a motion to approve our consent agenda?
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. At this time, we're going to be moving up item. Item 7C, we have present with us State Representative Eddie Lucio III, who is going to make a presentation, item number 7C.
If I may, Judge, just read it for the record. Discussion and consideration, possible action of Agua Special Utility District to use the Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 dish system to run a force main. And this basically is a project that Agua is working in conjunction with the Water Development Board, is my understanding, and the City of Mission to provide sewer to the western part of the county. And they're requesting to utilize our existing drain system that runs from the west side all the way through Inspiration Road east through the Mission Inlet, and then from there utilize private property to run north into the Mission wastewater treatment plant. And Mr. Frank Flores from the Agua Sud is here, and also State Rep Lucio as well, representing Agua Sud, and they have some, I guess, a brief presentation to make to the board.
All right.
Good morning, Judge and all. Thank you for your attention. I'm Francisco Flores. I'm the district manager for Agua Special Utility District. This project has been in the making since 2000. There were some issues there that we found there was a need for sewer in the area. You notice Palmview is probably one of the last populated cities without sewer. We did have a $44.5 million project, is what it is today, 95% grant. We did run some problems in Mission as far as the location of the sewer plant. Mission has an alternative for us that we're pursuing with the Drainage District, if at all possible, is to build a lift station in Palmview and then pump the sewer 5 miles to the Mission wastewater treatment plant. Currently, we have $30 million in grant from the Texas Water Development Board. We're acquiring another $8 million from the Texas Water Development Board to see this project through. We're asking for consideration from the Drainage District to run a 24-inch force main from Palmview all the way along the Drainage District side, all the way to the City of Mission wastewater treatment plant, there to be treated by the City of Mission wastewater personnel.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be in contact with Awasud and the progress and be briefing the board on any issues that are coming up. So they are currently working on getting title reports, all the information for the dish to establish ownership, and we're working with legal on that to make sure that the agreement, franchise agreement, or whatever permit will be in place will be presented to the board for action. Judge, if I may go back to item 5.
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you. Discussion, approval granting right of entry to T&L and Perkins, TNP, in conjunction with TxDOT to perform surveying services along ACD-1 drainage facility along Chapin. TxDOT is looking at improving that bridge, reconstructing that bridge on Chapin between McCall and Jackson. And they're requesting just right of entry into our ditch to be able to gather some field topography, the standard right of entry. We don't have any objection to it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6 would be discussion approval of Hidalgo County Irrigation District Number 2, allowing ACD-1 to cross a 24-inch RCP located at South Fork Lateral. It's just a permit for one of our projects that we have on the south side in Precinct 2 to cross an existing irrigation Number 2 line. The permit's been reviewed, everything's in order for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
As part of 6, Judge, and we apologize, it should have been a separate item, but the second part of 6 would be approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between Delta Lake Irrigation District and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 as it relates to the joint use of right-of-way for purpose of maintenance, construction, repairs to drainage facilities. This,
Second.
yes, sir.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Everything's in order.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 7 would be requesting approval to advertise for RFQ number ACDD1 15-004-0401 Real Estate Appraisal Service Pool. Standard appraisal.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item B, 7B, would be requesting approval of pool of pre-qualified firms submitting statement of qualifications for ranking on an as-needed basis per project by Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for projects that require and state services as set forth in the requirements stated in RFQ number ACDD1 15-001-0218 Professional Engineering Services Pool.
This is not the one we just did a while ago?
This is the one, this allows us for the yearly, yes, sir. And we may be coming back to extend and open up for more, because we did receive several, but we have heard there's more out there that want to submit their RFQs, so we're
You
probably...
need action on it?
We need action to accept these, that way we can start selecting, and then we'll come back next quarter to extend it further for other firms.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, discussion, consideration, possible action, oh, excuse me, we already did that one. We'll move to 2013.
Item D.
Requesting approval, change order number 1, Foremost Paving, Inc., for construction contract number ACDD1 14-003-0211, Precinct 4 West Main Drain, existing weir modifications, and existing concrete slide gate, control structure improvements. Extension of the contract time due to manufacturer's delay in material delivery. No amount associated with change order. Just a standard. We're waiting on some material before we can proceed with the project. There is no monetary impact on this change order. Recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E is requesting approval to accept bid and approval to award construction contract to lowest bidder meeting all specified requirements for RFP number ACDD 1-13-024-09-26A, Drainage Improvements Project East Donna Drain Flood Pump. Sanco General Contracting, Inc., in the amount of $845,824.66.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
F, requesting approval to accept bid and approval to award construction contract to lowest bidder meeting all specified requirements for RFP number ACD 1-13-026-09-26C, Drainage Improvements Project South Mercedes Drain Flood Pump, Sanco General Contracting, Inc., in the amount of $665,343.48.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For the record, both E and F were reviewed with legal counsel and is recommending approval as well. Item 8, request approval to issue payment on the following items that were procured outside the district's purchasing guidelines. AMCO invoice number 128057 dated 11/21/2014 in the amount of $65. Grand total 65. If I make, for the record, I can read them all in there, and they're for small purchases that we made. GK Service invoice number 110347771 dated 11/26/14 in the amount of $35.70. GNK Service invoice 110349387 dated 12/24/14 for $35.70. GK Service invoice number 110349797 dated 12/31/14 in the amount of $35.70. GK Service invoice number 110-350-2007 dated 1/7/15, $35.70, grand total $142.80. And the last group is Mobile Relay Partners invoice number AIR 0034301 dated 12/1/14 for the amount of $501.39. Mobile Relay Partners invoice AIR 0034432 01/15, the amount of $501.39. Excuse me. And Mobile Relays. Excuse me. And the last one, Mobile Relays, in the amount of $501.39. Grand total $1504.17.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Closed session, there's a potential claim that we need to discuss.
All right, it's pursuant to 551-071 and 072. Need a motion to proceed to executive session?
So moved.
Need a second? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're going to be in executive session for a few minutes. We want to welcome you this morning to the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, March the 3rd, 2015. Oh, we adjourned. Okay, I
That's quite all right.
apologize. We'll defer the acknowledgement.
Okay, just,
Raul, go ahead.
yes, sir. We'll proceed as directed, Judge, so.
Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, at this time, we're convening our Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting for today, March the 3rd, 2015. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. At this time, a pledge of allegiance will be presented by the veterans of foreign wars, Sergeant Benito Alaniz, Post 7473, Color Guard.
America, all veterans, for the colors, attention. You may present the colors. Present arms. Color guard, halt. Left, face. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Port arms. Order arms. Order arms. Right face. Forward, arms. Column left. Order arms. As you were.
Yes, the prayer, please, by Ms. Townsend.
Dear Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you give us. We especially ask blessings for all our veterans. We appreciate what they have done for us, and we always try to remember it. We ask you to bless this court, this bunch of commissioners and judge. Help us to make good decisions and help everybody in the county. And we ask this in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing and observe a moment of silence in honor of Mrs. Nelva Salinas, who passed away yesterday. She is the mother of Monica Badillo, who is an administrative assistant in our executive office. We want to extend our sympathies to her family. Thank you. We want to recognize in our audience, we have individuals representing the Disabled American Veterans, America's Last Patrol, Korean War Veteran Association, Dr. Hector P. Garcia, American GI Forum, and Donna, Veterans of Foreign Wars, 10802. Welcome, gentlemen and ladies. Judge, you're here on 7A, but we're going to be taking up one item in advance before we get to 7A. Today we're going to be honoring an individual, one of our residents of our county, Mr. Eugene Gutierrez. We have a resolution in honor of Mr. Gutierrez, who was a member of the 1st Special Service Forces during World War II, whom recently was awarded a Congressional Gold Medal.
Mr. Gutierrez. Judge, Commissioners, we're going to start with a brief video.
We will now do the presentation of the medal right here in front.
Ladies and gentlemen, American veteran of the 1st Special Service Force, Mr. Eugene Gutierrez, Jr.
It's great to be here, and it's great to be an American. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker of the House, Mr. John Boehner, distinguished members of Congress, my esteemed brothers of the 1st Special Service Force, family members, and guests. I would like to thank everyone who undertook this very important and noble assignment to honor and recognize the most versatile and effective World War II fighting unit from the USA and Canada.
We have a resolution in honor of 1st Special Service Force veteran Eugene Gutierrez, Jr. Whereas Rio Grande Valley native son Eugene Gutierrez, Jr. is a World War II hero serving in the 1st Special Service Force, also known as the Devil's Brigade. The 1st Special Service Force was an elite U.S.-Canadian commando unit that served from 1942 to 1944. Today's American and Canadian Special Forces trace their heritage to the 1st Special Service Force. And whereas, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Robert T. Frederick, this 1,800-man unit, which operated mainly in Italy and southern France, accounted for 12,000 German casualties, captured more than 30,000 prisoners, had a kill ratio of 25 enemy soldiers for each forceman killed in action. They won 8 U.S. campaign battle stars and played a key role in the 1944 liberation of Rome from German forces. And whereas the U.S.-Canadian 1st Special Service Force was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian honor the United States Congress can bestow, on Tuesday, February 3, 2015, at a ceremony held at the U.S. Capitol Emancipation Hall in Washington, D.C. Mr. Gutierrez and Canadian Charles Mann accepted the medal on behalf of their fellow forcemen. And whereas the 1st Special Service Force earned a reputation for being able to take impenetrable objectives when no one else could, against all odds, they wiped out a strategic enemy defensive position high atop a mountain surrounded by steep cliffs in Italy. This mission was the basis of the 1968 motion picture titled The Devil's Brigade. They fought for 99 days on the front lines at Anzio Beachhead without relief and helped liberate Rome on June 4, 1944. The 1st Special Service Force went on to invade the islands of southern France on August 15, 1944, paddling in rubber boats for over 5 hours in the dark for a surprise attack on the Germans. And whereas Mr. Gutierrez enlisted in the U.S. Army after graduating from Harlingen High School in 1941, upon his honorable discharge in 1945, he went on to earn a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Oklahoma State University. He began his 30-year tenure with the McAllen Independent School District in 1950, teaching at Sam Houston. In 1953, he became the first Hispanic to be named principal in a McAllen ISD school, serving first at Novato Elementary School for 17 years, then at Lincoln Middle School until his retirement in 1980. He and his wife of 63 years, Penny, they have 3 children, Thomas, Margaret, and Elizabeth, and 4 grandchildren. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Eugene Gutierrez Jr. for being a hero of World War II who helped free the world of tyranny as a member of the 1st Special Service Force. And we salute him for being awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for meritorious service to the United States of America.
Move to approve. Second. Those in favor of the motion is made and seconded indicate by saying aye. 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 Motion carries unanimously.
I don't think there was too much left for me to say after all this presentation, but I'm so happy to be here amongst great friends, great people of the Hidalgo County. It is a moment that will live with me the rest of my life, and I would like to repeat what you just heard, that I'm proud to be an American, I'm proud to be a Texan, and to live in Hidalgo County. Honorable Judge Ramon Garcia, distinguished members of the Hidalgo County Precinct Commissioners, my esteemed military brothers right here, and I'm sure there's a lot of military brothers here this morning. Thank you for coming. And members of my family and guests. I would like to thank everyone who undertook this very important and noble assignment to honor and recognize the most versatile, effective World War II fighting unit from the USA and Canada. Since the first shot was fired on April the 19th, 1775, the beginning of our quest for independence and freedom, 1.3 million men and women have given their lives to safeguard America's freedom and to keep Old Glory waving proudly. The force never in all its service yielded an inch of ground to the enemy, nor left a battle with indecisive conclusion. The force won everything it fought for. And I would like to read a prayer that was found on the body of an American who was killed on or about May 23, 1944 at the Anzio beachhead. This prayer brings back a lot of memories to me because fighting men, I'm sure, we were all alike when it came to meeting difficult situations we were constantly under danger 24 hours a day. And the best thing that came to me was praying. And I prayed a lot, believe me. I don't think there's a brave person that doesn't pray in battle. The prayer goes, "Look, God, I had never spoken to you, but now I want to say, how do you do? You see, God, they told me you didn't exist, and like a fool, I believe all this. Last night from a shell hole I saw your sky and figured then they had told me a lie. Had I taken time to see things you made, I'd have known they weren't calling a spade a spade. I wonder, God, if you'd shake my hand, somehow I feel you will understand. Funny, I had to come to see your face. Well, I guess there isn't much more to say, but I'm sure glad, God, I met you today. I guess the 0 hour will soon be here, but I'm not afraid since I know you are near. There's a signal, I've got to go. I like you lots, I want you to know. Look now, this will be a horrible fight. Who knows, I may come to your house tonight. Though I wasn't friendly to you before, I wonder, God, if you wait at your door. Look, I'm crying, me shedding tears. I wish I had known you this many years. Well, I have to go now, God. Goodbye. Strange, since I met you, I'm not afraid to die. As I mentioned, this prayer was found on the body of an American soldier at the Benz of Beachhead. And this prayer brought many memories of my days in action. When I left my home to join the Army in August 41, my mother gave me her rosary. I clearly remember my first war encounter. I took out my rosary and started to pray. As time went by, I wore out my mother's present. And my war's end, I had worn out about 3 additional rosaries. And guess what? God answered my prayers. God bless America, and may the immortal souls of all men killed in battle rest in peace. Thank you.
And we're going to go downstairs to you.
And then before we're done, would you like the family shot, please? Family, please. And now we'd like all members of the military, especially the veterans of foreign wars, to please come up for a photo with the Commissioner's Court and the family. And Mr. Gutierrez, please come on up.
la pluma del Chacho.
And then when you're all done with your photos here, can you look up there? Everything looks good here? Okay, smile. Ready, one? Okay, great. 1, 2, 3. All right. On behalf of Hidalgo County, we all thank you for your service. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, guys. No, Felix, que la pluma todavía está buena, porque ella sola ya hace cheques.
We want to make you aware that we do have some coffee and pastries outside for anyone who wishes to join the Gutierrez family. The Special Service Force was called the Devil's Brigade. It was nicknamed by the Germans at Anzio. They found a diary of a dead German soldier containing the passage, "The black devils are all around us every time we come into the line." These individuals, these soldiers, like Gene, specialized in stealth attacks that covered their faces with black boot polish. They also placed stickers showing the unit patch and the slogan written in German that translated to "The worst is yet to come," that were placed on German corpses and fortifications. Gene is 93 years old, works out regularly. He can do 90 to 100 push-ups, but says he averages about 80 to 85 4 times a week. Incredible individual. Gene, congratulations, and thank you for the honor of allowing us to honor you and your family here today. All right, we now will move on. We have the Honorable Mario Ramirez here with us today on item number 7A. It's a resolution in support of legislation for funding of a new Hidalgo County courthouse.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Bobby Villarreal with the County Judge's Office. We have Judge Ramirez here today. And I guess just as a preface, we're looking at Senator Hinojosa is looking at filing a bill for a filing fee for the county court, the new county courthouse. So I'll let Judge Ramirez expand.
Commissioner and Judge, I got an invitation to be here about 10 minutes ago, and I really don't know what you want me to say, except that I'm in favor of the new courthouse.
Judge. We want to make sure that the community is aware that the judiciary is totally in support of our efforts in trying to do what we can to build a new courthouse here in the county. And one of those efforts involves our legislators, specifically State Senator Chuy Hinojosa, who has filed or will be filing a bill that will allow the assessing of user fees or an additional filing fee to help come up with somewhere between $1 to $2 million worth of monies that will be set aside and used for a payment of a new courthouse facility.
Yes, sir. I'm really speaking for the judiciary. It's really obvious that we need a new courthouse. We try cases over there, judges, with multi-parties, and courtrooms are too small. There's no place to put the jurors. The jurors are uncomfortable. Not only just uncomfortable, but it's really, we're unable to try the cases that we have, the multi-party, large, big cases that we have in the space that we have at the present time. It's unsafe at the courthouse. It's insecure. There's many problems, and we certainly are, all of us, all the judiciary, stand united in passing or supporting this resolution that I've just been handed.
All right, sir.
Is there a motion on that?
Yes, we need action on it.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Judge, thank you very much, and
Thank you,
the
Judge.
other members of our judiciary here in the county.
I would have prepared a speech, Judge, if I'd known I was going to be here. But thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, and just to clarify, this is the same kind of filing bills that Travis, Bexar County, numerous counties in Dallas had done to do some user fees so that they could build their courthouses as well. So we're not creating anything new here. This is pretty kind of standard stuff in the state.
All right. On item 6B,
Michael.
yes, let's get through with B, C, and D.
All right, 6B, Michael Leo, County Judge's Office, good morning. 6B is a resolution supporting a proposed affordable housing community, Project La Palmilla. Project La Palmilla, a couple of weeks ago, we met with the court in executive session under economic development negotiations about a couple of projects looking for support. This is one of them. This is on the southwest corner of Alberta and Raul Longoria. It's a $20 million project with 160 units. The item on the agenda last time was for asking for a resolution of support from the county as well as a financial commitment. At this time, they're not asking for a financial commitment. This is just a resolution of support of the project itself. And we've worked with legal on the wording, and we've gotten both legals have come to agreement as far as the language is concerned.
Any questions? If not, we need action.
Move for approval?
Yes.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6C, resolution supporting a proposed affordable housing community, Project The Heights. This is the other project that was discussed with the court. It's on the southwest corner of South Raul Longoria and East Wisconsin Road, named The Heights. It's an $18 million project with 128 units. Linda Brown, on behalf of the developer, has met with the precinct and the commission and the judge's office as well. Again, they're not asking for a financial commitment, but just a resolution of support of the project itself.
Move for approval?
Second. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. 6D.
Judge, Commissioners, this is a resolution in support of Senator Juan Hinojosa's border security plan. He's proposed this to the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the chair of the Senate Finance Committee. He, in the resolution and the documentation that you have there, he proposed several things to help secure the border. And one of the things, two of the things that he has talked about is establishing a DPS training facility in the Rio Grande Valley. Also, providing additional funding for local law enforcement agencies. Also, I think there's a few other things. They talked about a permanent task force of Texas Rangers in the Rio Grande Valley, permanently increase the number of game wardens on the border, also additional agents for TABC, and additional funding for local law enforcement equipment. Essentially, the nuts and bolts of the summary of the whole plan is that he's much in the same way that I think we've adopted a legislative agenda that we prefer not to have the National Guard here, but have more local law enforcement and DPS and others to help us with the border. It looks better on us, and we are looking to support the Senator in his endeavors for us.
Move for approval?
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimous.
Thank you, sir.
Item 6E.
Judge, under item 6E1, we're going to take no action under item 6E1.
All right.
And item 2, I believe Commissioner Flores...
Take no action.
No
on
action
that.
as well? Okay.
Yeah.
So no action on all of item 6E.
What about 4, precinct 4? Do they also need to appoint someone? I was made aware that we're going to be rescinding precinct 2, so we would have 2, 3, and 4 that needed some appointments.
No, for item 6E1 at this time, I'm clarifying something on this issue. So that left 3 and 4. Commissioner, did you?
Yeah, I heard the item. I'm reappointing my current
Okay.
board member, so it's just a reappointment.
I need a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item F.
Item F is discussion, consideration, and approval of the creation of the Hidalgo County Literacy Program as authorized under Section 381.004B6 of the Texas Local Government Code. For the last couple of months, our office has been meeting with the Budget Office and with the Civil Division of the DA's office, exploring programs that could benefit county residents and could focus on skills development training for demand occupations. Programs with an emphasis on serving residents with barriers to employment in an effort to help them achieve long-term self-sufficiency. The county is authorized under Section 381.004 to develop and administer such a program to stimulate business and commercial activity in the county. The court may contract with another entity for the administration of this program and may use county employees for funds for the program. At this time, we're bringing forth the Hidalgo County Literacy Program for the court's consideration. This will lay the foundation and create the mechanism that will provide the court options in administrating initiatives under this program in the near future. We plan to bring back the first initiative at our next meeting. At that time, the court can give direction as to how they would like to move forward. In order for the county to participate in a program like this, it has to be created and initiated by the county, which is why we're here today. So right now, we're only asking for approval to adopt the program in order to move forward.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 6G.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Item 6G is discussion regarding communication from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs in reference to grant funding for the Community Service Agency. As the court is aware, we have our CSA director is Maribel Navarro. We received notification from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs regarding 2 particular grants that they receive, the CSA receives. One is the Community Energy Assistance Program, and one is the Community Services Block Grant. Under the CAP program, that's where the county is using state and federal funding. We assist county residents in paying utility bills. Their concern was that we had been not underutilizing the funds that we've been receiving. In 2012, we underutilized $1.3 million. In 2013, $1 million. And then in 2014, it seems like we're on track to not utilize about $500,000. The TDHCA reached out to us and asked us to work with our CSA and to develop a plan of action and see how we can better utilize those funds. Under CSBG, the Community Services Block Grant, they also mentioned to us that we receive about $1.6 million per year over the last couple of years, and we seem to be rolling that money over from year to year. And once again, TDHCA asked that we develop a plan to better utilize those funds. So we've asked Maribel Navarro to come in and discuss this with Commissioners Court here today. So she's here with us.
Ms. Navarro? Yes, sir. We placed this item on the agenda when we were made aware that in spite of the fact that we have so many individuals in our county that are in poverty are living below the poverty level for those guidelines, out of the 254 counties in the state, We have the largest amount of indigents living amongst us here in Hidalgo County. The federal government was involved in trying to help and provided us with monies every year to help these individuals pay their light bills and utility bills, depending on their income, depending on their need, and yet we were sending back to the state or the government. In 2012, we sent back 1.3 million. In 2013, we sent back 1 million. In 2014, we sent back about 500,000. Monies that were then distributed amongst other parts of the state, when in fact we have a tremendous need to serve our community here in this county. And I asked Ms. Navarro to please come and explain what the status is of this particular program and what can we do to make it more efficient so that we can no longer send those monies back, but in fact use those monies to be able to assist all these families that badly need help.
First of all, Judge, I'd like to mention that in 2012, we did spend close to $5 million, and in 2013, we spent 4.5, and in 2013, we also spent about 4.4. We have been spending quite a bit of money in helping and reaching out to all our low-income citizens in Hidalgo County. Unfortunately, we've not been able to reach all of our goal and maximize all of our expenditures. And we've been struggling and spinning our wheels and trying to overcome certain factors and putting in strategies, new strategies every year to try to reach and maximize all our goals. In this particular year, we've been meeting with the judge's staff. I also have Chris Trevino that's assigned to our staff, to our agency to try to help us out. And one of the things that I asked was that we needed to expand our service areas and hopefully try to help me get some office space in some of the other precinct areas so that we can have some staff and try to maximize and expand our service delivery. So we have some strategies in place. We have some motion to move forward in trying to reach our goals to make sure that we maximize all of our grant potential.
We did meet yesterday, and I believe instead of spending more money and hiring additional staff, well, we suggested, and you were involved in the discussion, that you contact each one of the 4 commissioners and let their staffs point out those families within their precincts that are in need of this kind of assistance so that it can be provided. I mean, because you're looking at trying to identify these particular families and qualify them and then render the assistance.
Right.
And that they can be more involved with your agency in the future so that we can make use of these monies to help this family.
Certainly, we can be available for any training that any of the staff needs. It is an extensive training. They do need to understand the criteria and the income eligibility. I do also want to mention that for this year, we sent out over 5,000 letters of all the individuals that did qualify last year through our agency, inviting them to come back in. They have been doing so as of February 9th. And right now, we have appointments. We're booked through May with appointments. So for all the staff that I have available, I have 7 eligibility workers to serve all of Hidalgo County. And so right now, maximizing all of their time, we are booked through May right now.
You would agree that there is a tremendous need here in this county
Oh,
for this
of
kind of
course.
assistance.
We most certainly do not take this lightly. Our staff has been working very diligently and trying to make sure that we outreach and we target and we get all these services out. It is an extensive training that they need to understand the criteria and the income eligibility, and to assure back to the county that we don't have any disallowed costs. We try to not bring any of the issues at hand from the agency, but we have always tried to serve the pleasure of the court in the best that we can, and the staff has been working very hard. Like I said, I only have 7 eligibility workers. We have been trying to hire and retain them and keep them, but with the amount of work that they have to do and the low salary, no raises in the past 4 years, it's hard to retain good staff.
Let me let Ms. Townsend make her comments that
Yes,
she
Is this the agency that has a citizens committee?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Is this the agency? Is this the part that has a citizens committee with it? We have an advisory
Yes.
board in Mission, I know, and they make a lot of decisions on who needs help. And is there housing also included in this?
No, I don't believe there's housing, it's only utility assistance.
Okay, but there is a citizens advisory committee.
Ms. Navarro?
Not a citizens committee, it's an advisory board for the agency.
Can you
I don't know
identify who
what's-
the advisory board members are? Are they throughout the throughout the county?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it meets the CSBG Act
Okay.
as far as how we go about having the board.
Maybe we should get an advisory committee or figure out a way to get more involvement from the staffs of the various county commissioners, since they're right there on the spot.
I believe we have a liaison, community liaison, that can go out and visit some elderly people that might need some help that can't afford to come to the office. You know, maybe we can do that.
Judge, we also have community resource centers that are scattered throughout the rural areas that would be.
I think you need to make more of an effort to involve yourselves more in the community where you can locate these families and provide the help that they badly need.
Like I mentioned, we will do all of what is required to do. At this point, we do a lot of targeting, we do a lot of outreach. I do want to make mention that we have a satellite office at the Precinct 3 Commission's office in Mission, and that office space has helped us quite a bit because we see a lot of clients in that area, and that's what I was hoping that we would be able to do in the other precinct areas as well.
All right. Are there any questions?
Judge, one of the ideas that we had that came out of the meeting yesterday was to develop a group of in-house county staff to work with Valde's office, Mr. Chris Trevino, and work with Maribel Navarro to put together a plan on how we can address this.
All right. Thank you.
We'll
Jaime.
keep you updated. Thank you, sir.
All right. Next item. Item H.
Judge, it's a discussion, consideration, and action authorizing the county judge to submit a notice of intent to Texas Historical Commission and/or applicable office agency to demolish the existing 1954 Hidalgo County Courthouse after the completion of a new Hidalgo County courthouse.
No action has been taken, and this does not mean that we're going to be demolishing the courthouse. It just is a way of making sure we address it during a legislative session. Senator Hinojosa has requested that we send a letter to the Texas Historical Commission, making them aware that depending on what our architects, our engineers, and our staff make us aware of, whether there would be a need to eventually demolish the courthouse building, the present one, we need to make that request known to the Historical Commission, and this is a resolution simply stating that we intend to do that if, in fact, that is going to be the decision of this court at a later time. But this right now, it does not mean that we're deciding that we're going to be demolishing this old building.
So it's just for us to send the letter to them, right?
Right, to be ready in case we need to do it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. All right. Let me go back to our consent agenda. Any concerns, Mr. Ofracio?
Yes, Judge, I would like to ask that consent agenda item 4D, as in David, 4Y, and 9A be pulled for discussion.
Move for approval without 4D, 4Y. and
Excuse me,
9A.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, Judge. I'd like also to include that it be separate also number 9E.
9 what?
E.
E. And 9E also.
Thank you.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right.
Judge,
go ahead.
Commissioners, for item 4D, we'll be requesting no action.
All right.
And for item 4Y, just a correction on the agenda caption, it should be Fund 1237, the County Clerk's Record Management Fund. And we're requesting approval subject to that correction.
That
Should be
satisfy you?
1237?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Now, on item 9E, at the request of the Sheriff's Department, we're requesting approval of the requisition for payment of the 2015 National Narcotic Detector Dog Association membership dues for Armando Peña and K9 Henry, Javier Solis and K9 Dick, Jaime Garcia and K9 Herbie, Juan Moreno and K9 Andy, Jesse Trantham and K9 Wittig, Oscar Lizondo and K9 Czar, and Isidro Perez and K9 Bobby in the amount of $30 per team, and Francisco Guerrero and K9 Argo in the amount of $50 per team. The only thing I'm asking is, this is subject to the first K9 mentioned, Henry. This is subject to formal action to accept the donation of Henry, scheduled for Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting of March 17th, 2015. He will be part of the team by then, but this will allow them to proceed with the paying of the dues once that it's subject to that donations approval for Henry.
For Henry only?
Yes.
Is that?
With that caveat, I ask for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, open forum. First presenter is Fern McClarty.
Judge, also 9A.
I'm sorry, just a minute, Ms. McClarty. Yes, sir?
And 9A, just a point of information that there were some affidavits attached to the agenda item, but they're not complete. So we're going to need to be completed in order to process payment. In 9A, you want me to read the agenda item, Judge? Those are membership dues to Amigos del Valle, County Judges and Commissioners Association of Texas, Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council, Texas Association of Counties, Texas Conference of Urban Counties, NACO, and South Texas County Judges and Commissioners.
All right, who's responsible for following up on this? Valdez, what department?
Judge, I'll be,
It says County Commissioners, I'm assuming is the court, Valdez?
right.
Countywide?
It's county, oh, those are the membership, it's countywide. You know what, Judge, I apologize. That actually was being facilitated, but because of the unfortunate circumstances that occurred yesterday with Ms. Badillo, I didn't follow up with her.
All right, well, Valdez, frankly, we just follow up and get the affidavits properly signed and notarized.
I will get the affidavits today. I'll make sure that they're properly taken over and,
You want to approve it subject to completion of those forms?
Yes, those forms. I'll make sure that they're over at your office.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. All right, moving on to open forum. Ms. McClarty.
Good morning. Another public servant tells the people they need to pay more. It does not seem that the commissioners understand that we live in the poorest county in Texas. You continually support more and more tax increase that makes it more difficult for the people to own a home. 35% of the people have an income that is below the poverty line. 79% are on a fixed income. These are the people that will pay for this courthouse, and they cannot afford it. We're having a district judge come up here and that makes $158,000 a year say they need a new courthouse is totally misunderstanding the problem. He also stated that the courts can't do their job. Well, maybe we need to shut this courthouse down and move it to another county until they can do it. So if this courthouse is that bad, let us see how many people from the 79% with fixed incomes can say they need a new courthouse. I am sure they will have a much different answer. This Commissioners Court hired ERO architects to identify the cost of the building a new courthouse, and they estimated the cost of being $187 million. But with the finance charges, this glass courthouse by the ocean would cost $320 million. As a side note, I believe this same architect may have had something to do with the McAllen Independent School District, and is probably the same reason the initial amount of bond issue was $440 million. They always like to think out of the box.
During the final days of the 2014, this commission approved $4 million for the design and construction of a new courthouse, in spite of knowing that the county was $16 million in debt. My point is that all expenditures end up costing the people money, but county commissioners do not seem to care. The only issue seems to be what is going to be said or done that will give the people to get them to support another tax increase. The fact that private hospitals want 75 cents to create a hospital district, and the city of Edinburgh has made a deal to spend $55 million on a building, a sports arena, does not seem to matter. It is all good because it will create jobs and improve the economy, but what if it does not do any of those things? The only ones left holding the bag are the poor and the ones that are on a fixed income. Everyone else is going to make a profit. There are more great and wonderful deals to consider. McAllen ISD wants $440 million to improve the education of their students, conveniently leaving out the teachers on the process of improving education. And I am certain that the teachers will not let that go unnoticed, and we have not yet heard from the Edinburgh ISD. Edinburgh also wants their students to get smarter, so they will also want buildings. Let us not forget that we have passed a $185 million drainage bond issue, and the South Texas College has begun to implement its 25.68% increase. There is a proposal by Terry Canales to place an STC branch campus in the Elsa Ed Couch area. The campus will be 9 miles north of a 46-acre STC campus with all new facilities. There will not be an added tax, but there will be a 5% maintenance fee to the people of Hidalgo County. Political officials do not seem to understand that poverty means no money, no credit card, and no line of credit. Everyone, includes local government, must live within their income, or we will vote you out. And I have a picture here, and we're talking about the project soft cost, which are the engineering, security consultants, specialty consultants, the furniture that's going to have to go in this, is to add another $30 million. So the total cost of $157 million in 2017 with the 4% escalation will be $176,690.
You have under a minute.
All right. And so we're talking about, the number is $187,081,210, does not include the financial charges, which are $320,911. And you were talking about demolishing, and y'all agreed to do that today of the courthouse. How many times have we bought a building that cost the taxpayers money, and we had to pay the taxes, back taxes on buildings, and you're going to tear down a building that we could use for offices? We already own this one. We don't have to buy it. So something that you don't want to do, you will find a way not to do it. When I was on the committee, they talked about fixing the old courthouse up, $13 million. If you'll remember, years ago, they didn't want that old courthouse, that beautiful Spanish style. We got to go into the next century. So you're doing it again. You're doing exactly the same history. So please don't do it. Save the taxpayers money.
Judge, I believe, didn't we just pass a resolution to support fees?
Yes. We're not advocating, this Commissioners Court is not advocating any tax increases in order to construct the courthouse. Unlike other public bodies that are requesting tax rate increases that were mentioned by the presenter, we are not. All right, next presenter is Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. When we citizens of Hidalgo County experience legal issues, it is necessary for us to rely on the integrity of the court to uphold and follow the law. In May of 1996, I was sued for divorce. Our community property is debt-free land with capital improvements. The court determined the land was excess land with no value and could not be divided. For our divorce settlement, the court divided $650,000 of yet-to-be-earned income. So for years, I have been asking, how about our real estate? Because this involves a state divorce and a national bank, both the state and federal government must grant permission to certify the corporation Billman Real Estate LTD with general partner Billman Enterprises LLC, which I assume to be the court or a similar faculty, along with Available Holding Company. October 23, 2007, 3 years after Joe's death, the court supposedly sold a strip of our excess land with no value, not from Joe and me, but from Billman Real Estate LTD to the City of Mission for $280,000. I do not know who got the money. No one can sell what they do not own. Our community property is not the legal asset of any corporation. Joe and I have sold none of our community property. The community property of Joe and me was organized into a corporation by the court, with a court-appointed manager, director, beneficiary, and trustee, so that our community property can be acquired by investors that pyramid their investments into financial empires, especially in public utilities, banking, and manufacturing. It is unconstitutional and unlawful for the court to take everything we own using a petition for divorce. Who are the officers and investors in the so-named Billman Real Estate LTD? Are any of the investors people who are involved in processing the divorce case? To divide our community property between the two owners, Joe and me, would have been as easy as 1 + 1 is 2. Divide our debt-free community property into 2 parcels of land, one for Joe and one for me. On the north side of Twin Lakes Park is Valley View Park. These 2 parks are divided by a woven wire fence. There is even a walk-through gate for people to walk back and forth between the 2 parks. Authority of the court was to divide our community property between Joe and me. Rulings of the court do not include a division of community property or a final divorce. When Joe died, law dictates that this case must be dismissed, which returns our community property to us. That has not been done. Conspiracy is an agreement between 2 or more persons to do something that is against the law. Grand larceny, false imprisonment, and conspiracy are crimes. Thank you very much.
I have a sign on the back of my car that says, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. You know, that's a catchy little thing, but I have never seen it more appropriate. I'm not just talking about a new courthouse. I'm talking about anything at all that might add taxes. That I have never lived here all my life, never seen the rumblings that I have seen now and heard of people saying, no, no more taxes. I think everybody has gotten to the point where they just can't take it anymore. And I'm not going to say how many poor and everything. You all already know that. You know what the percentages are. I'm not going to do that to you. You already know. I'm just saying these are unusual times. People are not trusting anymore. It doesn't help that we passed the $100 million bond for drainage and then not too sure where it went. That doesn't help. I'm just please begging you all, go slow, be careful, don't get caught up. I don't care if every judge in the courthouse comes over here. They are not the ones that are thinking about the taxpayers. They're just thinking about, and if they are talking about it being so crowded and they can't get, then spend more hours there because they sure aren't there a whole lot. I'm sorry. Those judges are my friends too, but they don't utilize that courthouse as well as they could. If you want trust from us, the taxpayer, and the people who stay here and pay attention to the county, you want us to trust, then don't get rolled into this so fast. You may think it sounds, now, if you're working on something that's not going to take any taxpayers' money, oh, okay, but I'm not sure I trust that either, because it might be pay me now or pay me later. I wouldn't trust that. I don't know. We're not being real. We're not facing reality on where we are, who we are, and what we have to deal with. Please, I saw you all get caught up in the doing of the courthouse, the planning, the architectural stuff, and all the stuff. It just snowballed until it was out of control. And all of a sudden, we had paid a huge amount of money. And do we really want this design? I don't know. Didn't look good to me, but I'm just saying, don't get caught up in it. Go slow, put the brakes on, say, wait a minute, let us take a look at it. Please, I kind of beg you. I just don't want to see you all do that to us or to yourselves either. Thanks.
On the issue of the drainage district, our new director is working on a presentation to be made in the future as to where all these dollars have been spent that were generated from these two bond issues. And on the issue of taxes, this public body, your county commissioners court, has not increased their tax rate in 13 years and has no desire to do so. Our next. We have been trying to work within our budget to address all of the needs of our county. It's a fast developing, growing county, and we're doing it without increasing our taxes. You know, that I feel, in my opinion, is a very big accomplishment. But all right, our last presenter is Marta Sanchez.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
We're here representing Lupe and Arise, La Unión del Pueblo Entero and Arise, because it's been 2 weeks since you came to our hall, and I just want to thank you because we've been in conversations. Thank you for the commissioners and the judge for being together in these many meetings that we had after the meeting in Lupe over a month ago, when you say that you're going to have something and respond to the public light. And I know that we're getting really, really close. I think we have a lot of good conversations, and I think we have something that we can really present to the community. So I know that it's been a lot of effort, and I just want to thank you for your commitment to this issue. Just in response to the previous person, is that it's not going to increase any taxes, and in fact the people are willing to pay their part for the public light, consumption of the public light. And so I just wanted here to thank you because 2 weeks after you did respond, you did give your word and you kept your word on have something available. I'm looking forward to start the pilot program. Hopefully pretty soon we'll hear something in the courts about implementing this program, the pilot program, that we agree on it. I also urge you to read the legislation that is being proposed, just to be sure that we don't have anything hiding in there that it might cost the people in the colonias more money than what they agree to do. So please, I thank you for working in the legislation that's going to be that's already presented in Austin, but just please read it. I advise you to read it and to be sure that it's an agreement of what we had discussed before. And we're looking forward for you to present the pilot program in here in the court, and we're looking forward to hopefully come and support you in this. And again, one more time, thank you so much for all the departments, not just the commissioners and the judge, but all the different departments in the county. They've been coming together to discuss this important issue for the people in the colonias. Thank you for keeping your word on this, and we're looking forward to come back and fill this court to the day when you have this pilot program for both. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, at this time, we have present with us our county clerk, Mr. Arturo Guajardo, and he is here to make a presentation on item number 23A5. Marty, can you ask Arturo to step in? He's right there.
He's coming.
We're going to take up that item, Mr. Guajardo. All right. Go ahead.
Pursuant, 5A is pursuant to procurement packet request by Honorable Arturo Guajardo Jr., Hidalgo County Clerk, for Hidalgo County Commissioners Court to approve, select, designate, and appoint a committee to score grade the responses received for the RFP number 041, legal firm for the collection of delinquent fees and fines for judicial and JP courts on a phased basis, with the recommendation by him of Jason Rohr and Noel Lopez from the County Clerk's Office.
I'm confused.
Let's start over again.
Under the procurement packet, Commissioners Court can do two or three things. One would be to appoint, as Mr. Guajardo brought this project to the court and initiated it, the county clerk to designate the county clerk with his two designees' office to score and grade. Or Commissioners Court can designate a committee, period.
I would
Or
advocate.
C is a combination of both.
Yeah,
You can include him and
ahead,
other
Commissioner.
people.
And it's just my
So that's basically
recommendation.
all it is.
Well, it's just a recommendation that the court or the board would either designate or make them, well, actually, it would designate 5 members, each coming from each judge and commissioners to grade. I think that's an acceptable format we've normally have had in the past. It's the fairest process, I think.
Well,
I don't know how the other
Is that your
members-
motion?
Yeah, that's my motion.
Second.
And again, I want to understand that we're the committee?
Well, that we would either.
Or-
You're gonna
or
designate.
Or designate an individual.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so A, it will not be the county clerk or his designees. Is that correct?
No, just.
No action.
No action.
And then we're going to go with B.
Yes.
Okay,
Move
may I
for
have the
approval.
names, please?
Marcos Lopez out of my office.
Okay,
It could be us.
It could be yourselves as well.
All right.
okay, a judge?
I'm going to be on it.
Yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
If I'm not able to be there, it'll be Yolanda.
Okay. Precinct 1,
It'll probably be me or Raul Lozano.
Precinct 2, Commissioner?
Myself or Armando Garza.
Armando Garza, okay. Precinct 3,
Obama.
Yourself?
Myself or Mingo Guerrero.
Now, I do have Mr. Valdeguerra as part of I've removed my name from the packet, but he would just be overseer. Is that fine with the court?
I was looking at the factors and the criteria, and in this, we were supposed to look at qualifications, procedures, and collection notice. I'm not sure what that is. Management reports, computer network, but what about fees? What they're going to charge?
Fees, in this particular RFP, which we merged two the 2000 RFP that was used by the county, which is 15 years old, and one of the newest RFPs that we found was Cameron County. We merged those two. Cameron County had much more detail on reports on what was services required. We then sent that to both the county clerk and the district attorney's office for review, and they had no changes.
But I mean,
There were very
you know,
few changes.
these firms are going to be very qualified, I'm sure, all of them. And the only difference is going to be fees. What are they going to charge?
Okay. We also researched, my staff researched 7 to 8 counties. In those counties where fees were, and they were pretty low in scoring evaluation, every contract that we have found is at 30%. There have been no, even though some counties would have had fees as a
But Marty, there's
fraction.
nothing like competition to lower that.
I would agree with you, Judge. I think if it doesn't bar us legally to include...
No, sir, it does not.
Okay, then
I would agree
suggest-
too.
Okay, so then we need to then amend the current RFP. We're still in the question and answer session. We're receiving questions from vendors, of which there is a deadline tomorrow at 5, with a obligation on the part of the county to respond by Friday at 5. We have a meeting with the county clerk and the DA's office to discuss questions that are coming in from vendors having to do with a lot of data that the purchasing department is not privy to, such as amounts due, etc. We will be meeting on Thursday, after we've received all questions, to discuss that. And we can send an addendum out when we send out the answers to all those questions, of which we can then amend the scoring criteria. Now, I don't know, do you want it to be the option of both the county clerk and the DA to decide to realign the 100 points, or do you want something brought to you? If you want something brought to you, then I would recommend we'd have to extend the acceptance
Well, why don't we just do it
date.
right now? I mean, why can't we set an amount of points for
Okay, you
fees?
just give me the amounts that you want to.
Judge, but won't you have to republish? Because you already published and requested proposals.
Legal?
No, sir.
And the criteria didn't include a fee.
But that's just the advertisement. The packet can be amended by addendum.
Is that proper, Steve?
In this case, I believe it is.
All right, then what amount do you suggest? Maybe in this, 15 or 50?
Well,
What-
what are the other criterias? Because
Aquí está.
They're in your
Let me tell
backup.
you what they are.
They're in your backup. Sergio,
Here's how they collect it.
Can you
It'll
show
be
me the
same.
backup on-
Maybe put 25 or something. It's gonna have to be substantial. So
Yeah, like the judge is saying, I would say that it'd have to be an item that's as significant as some of the other top items, so
Okay.
at least 25 points.
you want 25?
25 sounds like a good figure.
Okay, let me just check what the other ones are, because we're going to have to lower
25 points for
some of the
fees.
rest, Commissioner. If you could lower the rest, or how many criteria are there listed? 5? Do you want to take 5 points off of each one of them to make up the 25?
That's fine.
That'll
So
be
5
fine.
points off, it makes it simpler.
Yes.
Okay, so 5 points off of everything else.
Would it equal 100?
Yes.
It will equal 100, yes.
Yes.
Can I ask a question also? I know in the other RFQ process, or the other, for the delinquent tax, we had the issue of the software system. Is software separate again?
Oh, yes, sir.
Clarification.
No, this
Okay.
has nothing to do with
Okay.
software.
It was just a question.
What says computer network, what is that? How's that different?
Their own, in other words, they need to demonstrate what type of software do they use in providing the services to you.
So
How
let
are they
me-
going to accomplish that?
So let me ask you, so each firm can propose their own software system? It
They would
doesn't- it doesn't
propose,
have to be a
how
preferred-
do they accomplish what they're going to do?
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's not linked.
But it's not linked to the points or anything like that? Basically, your point categories of the...
No, they
grading-
just need to demonstrate how are you going to accomplish this. If this is a firm that only has a manual system,
I
that
get
would
it.
go toward your, the grader's ability to score them.
Do you need action for this addendum?
Yes, sir.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Marty, you want to read the new criteria for the record?
Yes, did you get that page? No.
I can do it.
Commissioner, if you could read them out, or Judge?
Let me read it to you. Firm's qualifications will now, instead of 25, will now be 20.
Okay.
Collection procedures from 25 to 20. Collective notice from 10 to 5. Management reports from 25 to 20. Computer network from 15 to 10. And attorney's fees will be 25.
Okay. That's what we'll do, and this will go out through an addendum.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
Judge-
Is that the only, I have to wait my turn? I guess.
Judge, Commissioners, Marty, if there is a need for the gathering of the committee.
I know, a posting would have to occur.
Well, we just have to do our due diligence with respect
Oh,
to the committee
certainly.
members. Okay.
My staff will be instructed to that, too.
Okay.
All right. Now, there may be depending on the amount of data that needs to be gathered, as I was telling you on this meeting of Thursday with the county clerk and the DA's office, they may end up recommending that additional time may be needed for submission, and we would also send that out through addendum.
Yes.
There is an enormous amount of data that's being requested.
Yes, the addendum is.
Okay?
Thank you,
I just want to make you all aware of that.
Okay.
All right.
So, just to be clear, for our notes here, Judge, there was no action on item A, there was action on item B for the committee, and item C, others permitted, was the action was taken for the
Addendum.
addendum. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right.
All right? Right now, and so the court will also be aware, the acceptance date right now to all vendors that have packets is March 11th, Wednesday. In the event that the meeting results in additional time, it would most likely be moved to either March 17th or March 25th, depending on how much time either the county clerk or on the JP side would be needed to gather that information. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on, item number 8. Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Phase 2.
Item 8A, 1 and 2, there's no action to be taken unless there's action to be taken further down the agenda. Item 8B, there is no action this week. We'll have a presentation at the next court session. Item C, I'm asking authorization for the City of Edinburgh to utilize the courthouse parking lot square for the All Valley Trash Bash 2015 event, which will be held on Saturday, April 11th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, under our environmental compliance, I'm asking approval of a revised proposed agreed order, and that would be Hidalgo County RN 107448920, that references docket number 2014-1094-MSW-E, with authority of the county judge to sign the document.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, I'm asking approval to accept the settlement check from Stonewood Insurance Company in the amount of $1,679.54. This will settle an auto claim.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F, I'm asking the court to consider a payment of attorney vouchers that are listed on the agenda. Again, this is as per the local rules of administration adopted under TLGC 74.093. This is for attorney Aurelio Garza. This is in connection with legal representation of indigent defendants. Again, as always, with authority for the county treasurer to issue payment after review and auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor. And just for the record, they are CR 14-8900-B, County Court of Law 2, CR 12-10886-E, County Court of Law 5, CR 14-10375A, County Court of Law 1, and CR 14-7109A, County Court at Law 1, for a total of $2,147.50.
Approval.
Second.
Judge,
Yes.
Valde, they're in the process of modifying the local rules. So in the future, I might not be able to process payment based on action by commissioners.
Right, but this is under the old, right, until such time. Yes, I'm aware.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Item 9. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Deputy Constable Alonso with Constable Martin Cantu, Precinct
Yes,
2.
ma'am.
Item number 9, A148571, Constable Precinct 2, 1100. Discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Jonathan Skaggs as Deputy Constable by Constable Martin Cantu, Constable Precinct 2, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.011.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, Commissioners, item 10, I'm going to ask Mr. Silguero to present the item. Ms. Cortez had an emergency this morning that she talked to me about, so I've asked Mr. Silguero to work or to present the item.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Raul
Morning,
Silguero on temporary duty to the Human Resources Department. We're presenting two departments. The District Attorney's Office has a continuing reorganization of his office, and we're continuing to bring some items. I have Rosalinda Cantu, their HR coordinator, in case you have any questions. Item number A says requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments. This waiver will allow the court to take action on creating new jobs or making salary adjustments. So we need action on that first.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On the rest of the items, Judge, Commissioners, the District Attorney's Office is a non-civil service department, so any action that you take will waive any policies and procedures that may be required. So I'll read the items. Discussion, approval, and consideration of the following personnel actions. 2 is create slot number 0111, program 080002, to create a victim assistance coordinator at a proposed salary of $50,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Judge,
Yes.
funding has not been identified.
Subject to
for
funding.
continuous items.
As Judge, Commissioners, as always, I always leave it for the court to take the action. If the court takes the action to approve, then we do what we do at the Budget Office to identify the funding, and so yes, I agree with the subject to funding.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Is it possible to have the budget adjustment ready for the approval? It appears to me that by the time an agenda item is placed for court action, there's almost 100% chance that it's going to be approved.
I understand that, Mr. Ofracio, but in the past, there have been, that 100% has not materialized, and again, I've always had the position that I will not, I believe it would be presumptuous on my part to identify funding prior to me knowing whether or not the court is going to take positive action on it. What we do is we always have a funding source in mind if the court takes a positive action, as is the case today. So again, you know,
that's fine.
What we can do is we can work with your office. I understand. Thank you.
Under the same item, Judge Commissioners, we're going to create, the DA wants to create temporary job 017, program 080010. It's a clerk 1. This is a temporary position for 6 months or less at a minimum wage of $10.10 an hour.
Second.
Judge,
Yes.
this
Subject to
slot,
funding.
this slot is funded by a grant.
Funded by what?
By a grant.
All right.
Currently, there's no grant funds in place to pay for this item.
You know,
The other one, the first one was a general fund, so Valdez says that he's going to identify
I will
funding
address
to
that.
pay for it, but there's no grant funding for the second item.
I think Ms. Cantu has indicated to me that there is some lapse funds available to cover the cost of this position.
It's going to take us about maybe a month to get somebody in here, so there will be
Can you speak a
about
little louder, please?
Yes. It's going to take about a month for us to go through the hiring process, and so it's going to be about a month's worth lapse salaries. So there will be enough salaries. Also, it's a temporary position. These employees are not guaranteed X number of hours. Anything less than 38 is considered temporary, is considered part-time. So we can work with the hours, and we're going to be monitoring the account, making sure that the employee will never work over the amount of monies that are allocated.
Now, Rosie, you're saying that it's going to be lab salaries? That's already a position that is approved for this grant. That job or that position is vacant?
No, sir. We have one position under that grant. This is a second one that we're creating.
Correct.
So between the time that it's created to the time that we're gonna actually have somebody working, there's gonna be about a month's worth lapsed salaries. Aside from that, the employee will be monitored, making sure that the funds are not exhausted. So if we see that the person is getting close to exhausting the funds, we're gonna make sure that the employee no longer comes into work after that, since they are considered temporaries.
Because there's only so much funding available under the grant. So you're saying that you're not going to hire anyone until such time that you will have sufficient to pay that individual, or?
Yes, we have to place the position for advertising, and then we have to we advertise, then we interview, and then we have to make sure that we meet the enrollment schedule. So sometimes that puts us off a whole month to bring somebody in. We need to make sure that we exhaust these funds also, because they're state grant funds, and right now they're not being utilized. And we really need the help in the office right now with all the changes that have happened this January. So we're asking for your approval to create this position.
Okay, in the odd chance that the grant will not be sufficient, I guess
I will make sure.
You'll fund the difference, buddy?
I will make sure that the position is funded.
I think,
We need
Mr.
to do whatever we
Flacio,
can to help our newly elected DA do his job. And
I think all grant employees sign an agreement that if the money runs out or something, that they will no longer be employed. So I don't-
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The second item is a reclassification, and as you see there, these positions, most positions, a lot of positions in the DA's office are paid from several funds, several accounts. This one is paid from the DA's general fund and from the pretrial innovation fund. It's a district attorney 3 position, and it's being reclassified to an assistant district attorney, and the entire change is being funded from the pretrial intervention. It's an additional cost of $32,460.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
The next item is simply a salary adjustment of an assistant district attorney 3, and the total salary change is $15,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next two items are a salary adjustment for a criminal investigator 2, an adjustment of $2,000, and the executive assistant 2, an adjustment of $3,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Item 3 is...
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is approval of the appropriation of funds, and 4 is approval to revise the salary schedule.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Yes. Go ahead.
Commissioners Court, Juan Viescas from the DA's office.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm here on behalf of the elected DA, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr., and just want to explain to you our gratitude for you approving the items. As you're well aware, he took office January 1st. We're still in the process of evaluating staff and resources that we have. Within the last 2 months, we've had issues that come up that require our attention to have the office effectively run, which is why we had to come before you today on some of these items. And so when we made that decision to come, we really needed it it existed for the administration of the office, or else we wouldn't have come. And we understand we weren't part of the budget process last year, and hopefully this next year we'll be part of it, obviously, and we won't have to be coming back to you as we did today.
Correct.
Again, thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Item B.
Item B is for Precinct 2, road maintenance. This is a request and approval to delete the following positions. Delete road maintenance, slot number 23 at 29, $391. Delete slot number 41, maintenance 1 at 23, $674, for a total deletion, reduction in cost of $53,065.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item
Aye,
2 is
motion carries.
to create the following position, create a road maintenance GIS operator 2 at a salary of $36,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 3 is to approve the revise the salary schedule in accordance with Commissioners Court action.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge. Commissioner.
Rosie, item 11.
Item
Good morning,
11, yes.
Commissioners, again. Item 11A is requesting approval to process the following invoices as claims with authority for county treasurer to issue payment after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
11B, requesting approval to process the following invoices as claims with authority for county treasurer to issue payment after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I have another item that I would like to take out of order. The HIDA Task Force 21A. Authorization to upgrade to 9 smartphones with accessories and continue with 1 MiFi mobile broadband through the county's membership participation with contract DIR SDD 1779, requisition number 00272436 with awarded vendor Verizon Wireless for the following.
Move for
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Tax office.
Yes, Commissioner, item 12 is the tax office. They're asking for consideration with respect to establishing and creating an account with the U.S. Postmaster. This would be at 412 South Jackson Road in Edinburgh in the amount of $1,800, and this is to address the return of address correction forms that are returned due to incorrect addresses. This obviously is done with the authority of the county treasurer to issue a check after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by our county auditor's office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
13, Health and Human Services.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. Item 13A is requesting approval to submit grant application for CPS Ebola funding allocation in the amount of $44,322 made available from the period of May 1st, 2015 through 9/30/2016. This new funding we obtained. Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Item 13B is Public Health Emergency Preparedness, PHEP discretionary, requesting approval of the interlocal agreement between the City of McAllen and Hidalgo County. The purpose of the agreement is to provide the South Texas Hurricane Conference for personnel who respond and provide services in the cases of emergencies involving hurricanes and other potential public calamities.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on to the next area is our healthcare funding district. There is no action there unless you have any questions. And then on item D, indigent healthcare program, there is no action there unless you have any questions. Thank you, sir, and have a good day.
14, Adult Probation. Mr. Patrick.
Commissioner, it's Arnold Patrick, Adult Probation. 14A has 7 items. Each one of these is permission for a resolution to approve the probation department applying for the grant and also appointing myself as the authorized official. The programs are the Hidalgo County DWI Court for felons, Hidalgo County Veterans Court, the Monitoring Compliance for High-Risk Offenders Program, Hidalgo County Prostitution Prevention Court Program, Hidalgo County Reentry Court, Hidalgo County Mental Health Court, and the Misdemeanor DWI Court Program. The last 2 programs are new. The other 5 are continuations.
Move for approval from 1 to 7, A and B.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Mr. Patrick, if I may ask, any obligation on the part of the county has been...
There is no
addressed?
obligation on the part of the county.
Thank you.
Thank you.
15, IT.
Good morning, Melanie with the Elections Department. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Ramirez, who couldn't make it in today. I'm going to read Agenda Item 48436, the authorization and approval of the planned upgrade and current service plans through the county's membership participation with the contract DAR SDD 1779 with awarded vendor Verizon Wireless for the following. It's a service plan upgrade. These are for office use, America's Choice 400 plan, email and data. We have the MiFi continuation service, it's office use as well, mobile broadband access for the Texas Unlimited Data Plan, the cell phone continuation service, office use, State of Texas voice rate plan, and the netbooks continuation service, office use, mobile broadband access for the Texas Unlimited Data Plan as well.
Move for approval.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
16, Urban County.
Good morning. Our first item on the agenda is a request on behalf of Precinct 1, in which they're requesting the approval from Hidalgo County Commissioners Court to enter into an interlocal cooperation agreement with the City of Elsa for the purchase of materials and the overlaying of the streets. The amount of this interlocal is $432,854.45.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting authorization for the county judge to sign the required documents.
For approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is requesting the award of bid and the approval of a contract with G&G Contractors for the demolition and reconstruction of the following, which is one unit in the countywide area. The total amount of this contract would be $53,940.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C is requesting that the court conduct a public hearing to consider public comments for the proposed budget and program amendment for the Home Investment Partnership Program for fiscal year 2013.
Move for approval.
We can't, no, it's a public hearing.
Public hearing.
Open a public hearing at this time.
And Commissioner, would you like to invite anybody up
Sure.
here to speak?
Anybody here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing.
If I may, Commissioner, I'd like to read that the public hearing is for the proposed budget and program amendment for fiscal year 2013, which will delete a $200,000 budget of the rental program, reduce $50,000 from the owner-occupied housing rehabilitation program, and increase the budget of the Community Housing Development Organization program, which is known as our SHOTOS.
So do I open it now?
You can
Closed.
try
Anybody
to-
here to speak on that item? Jesse? Then we'll close the public hearing.
Thank you. So therefore, item 2 is requesting your approval of the budget and program amendment.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 16D is requesting the approval to amend the 2013 Affordable Homes of South Texas Community Housing Development Organization and increase the funding by $75,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 16E is requesting that we obtain your approval to amend the 2013 Proyecto Azteca Home Community Housing Development Organization Agreement and increase the funding by $175,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Our final item is 16F, requesting the approval to amend an application with an owner-occupied housing rehabilitation program applicant from application which was received by Mr. Roel and Blanca Garcia at the request of the housing rehabilitation staff. This family was previously applied for funding, and based on their income at that time, we made a specific determination regarding what portion of the grant will be forgiven. So therefore, we're now advising the court that due to income changes, now the loan will be provided as a 50% loan and a 50% deferral.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 17, Head Start Program.
Good morning. We have two items. The first one is discussion and approval of poverty income guidelines and priority guidelines for selection and enrollment for program year 2015-2016, and that's based on federal guidelines for poverty.
Move for
And so-
approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Our second item is a discussion approval on request to purchase 2 cargo vans through the Hidalgo County's membership participation with the Texas Association School Boards TASB by board awarded vendor, Caldwell County Chevrolet, including TASB administrative fees.
Move for approval.
Second.
Thank
All
you
in
very-
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
18, Planning Department, TJ Arredondo.
Good morning, Commissioners. T.J. Arredondo for the record. The County Advisory Board convened on February the 17th and recommended approval for the following subdivisions. Preliminary approval with a variance request, Los Feliz Phase 2 subdivision, Precinct 4, 38 lots, and Los Vientos Estates Phase 3, Precinct 4, it's 20 lots. We're recommending approval for preliminary.
approval. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Next items are preliminary approval for Guerra Apartment Subdivision, Precinct 1, it's a 1-lot subdivision for multifamily. F&F Subdivision, Precinct 3, it's 9 lots. Presidio Estates Unit 2, Precinct 1, 32 lots. Rancho B to Z Subdivision, Precinct 4, 1 lot. And Perez Acre Subdivision, Precinct 1, 2 lots. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next items are for final approval. There's 2 subdivisions, Magdalena Estates Subdivision, Precinct 4, it's 64 lots. And Los Vientos Estates Number 2, Precinct 4, 17 lots. We're recommending final approval as
Move for
well.
approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The last item is final approval with a financial guarantee. We're recommending no action at this point. We'll bring that back maybe next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 19, Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. 19A, request approval to accept counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 6 for the South McCall roadway project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 19B, requesting approval to issue payment to Barrera Sanchez and Associates in trust for Maria Elvia Gonzalez for Parcel 101 of the Precinct 2 North I Road project that was previously approved through Special Commissioner's condemnation hearing on February 27, 2008, in the amount of $27,080, and subsequently appealed and settled out of court December 22, 2014, in the amount of $52,747, reflecting a difference of $25,667.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 19C, approval of interlocal agreement between the City of FAR and the County of
6
Hidalgo,
years to
Texas,
settle this.
through Precinct 2 and Precinct 4 to reconstruct Owasso Road
That's where that market.
from
price
Jackson
went up.
Road to Sugar Road.
Move for approval.
Judge,
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge,
Mande.
this agreement requires that Precinct 2 and Precinct 4 split the cost associated with this project. However, only Precinct 2 has funded their amount. So Precinct 4 has not
Judge, Commissioners,
funded that number.
on this
Is that okay
project,
with the commissioners?
Funded?
I mean, it comes from the county, wouldn't it?
Precinct 2 will be taking the lead on this project, so we're working with Precinct 4, transferring the funds from Precinct 4 to Precinct 2, so we'll do that via an emergency transfer, so we can have this approved subject to funding.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
So that was the motion?
Yes, that's the motion.
I second. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item C2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project to reconstruct Owasso Road from Jackson Road to Sugar Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 19D, approval of interlocal agreement between the City of FAR and the County of Hidalgo, Texas, to assist one another in multiple projects to be defined by mutual agreement in which both the city and the county will benefit from the outcome of the work.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 19D2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval for the interlocal cooperation agreement projects.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. I'm here on item 20A, 1, approval of certification revenues by the county auditor for the cost participation from White Ranches of Texas for road construction of the intersection of Chapa Road and Brush Line Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 20A2, approval of 2015 appropriation of funds in the amount of $3,106 with 77 cents for the road construction of the intersection of Chapa Road and Brush Line Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 22A is approval to submit a request for unclaimed capital credits from the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts with authority for the judge to sign the required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22B1 is approval of 2015 appropriation of funds from the Justice Court Building Security Fund in the amount of $76,142.50.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22B2 is approval of 2015 appropriation of funds from certificates of obligation, Series 2010 A and B, and this is in the amount of $29,759.91.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22B3A is approval to undesignate in the amount of $509,859.40 in fiscal year 2014 from the 1115 waiver assigned fund balance.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item B is approval of 2014 interdepartmental transfer from the 1115 waiver program 005 to the countywide administration contingency account program 002 in the amount of $500,000.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. 23.
Martha Salazar for the Purchasing Department, 23A. 1, requesting authority to approve and accept the purchase of equipment, services, software maintenance, and support from Everbridge Emergency Notification awarded through our membership through a co-op through the GSA General Services Administration contract number as stated for a term of 5 years with the first year prorated in the amount of $72,568.74 commencing April 1st and thereafter $96,758.31 per year. This is for the Emergency Management Office under the County Judge's Office.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We are presenting the sole responsible vendor, submitting the lowest and best bid as detailed in the tabulation sheet contained herein, and meeting all specifications and/or requirements for the purpose of award and approval of contract for request for bids titled Repair, Removal, Installation, and Purchase of Mobile Radios, Computers, and Other Miscellaneous Equipment through project number 017. We sent out 14 packets, and we got one sole bid, which we are recommending with concurrence from all of the users, South Texas Communications Incorporated.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
22A3, presentation of the sole bid received as detailed in the tabulation sheet contained herein. Also meeting specifications or requirements for the purposes of award and approval of contract. We sent out 3 packets. One sole bid was received. This is for Yoder Enterprises DBA Advanced Paging. This is for pager services through project number 34.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 4 is acceptance and approval of the pre-qualified firms submitting statements of qualifications for establishment of a pool as listed on the RFQ acceptance sheets attached herein for engagement through the established statutory and local protocol set up by Hidalgo County on an as-needed basis per project by all departments and/or applicable programs or agencies requiring services. They are A, architectural services, 14 firms, engineering services, 39 firms, engineering services under geotechnical and construction materials testing, 6 firms, construction management services, 8 firms, real estate appraiser services, 4 firms, and surveyor services, also for 46 firms.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
This pool, by the way, will be commencing on March 16th through March 15th of 2016. We've already done 5, going on to 6. Pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 11602, depository and sub-depository contracts, and Hidalgo County's current 4-year contract under Article 1.2 with Lone Star National Bank, recommendation by the Honorable Norma G. Garcia, Hidalgo County Treasurer, and Mr. Sergio Cruz, Hidalgo County Budget Officer, on the need to establish on a basis of negotiations with Lone Star National Bank new interest rates, financial terms of the contract that will take effect in the final 2 years of the 4-year agreement. They have reported to me through Mr. Sergio Cruz that interest rates right now are not in any way conducive to even attempt these negotiations. Therefore, we will take no action to send the notice to renegotiate. Everything will remain as is for the final 2 years of the agreement. Item 7, A, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 263-152, approval to declare as surplus and unneeded an office area of approximately 168 square feet inside the soon-to-be housed location for Hidalgo County substation for the tax office located at 708 East Highway 107, Elsa, Texas. Within the facility, there is an office space that they wish to make available for lease.
Okay, move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is requesting authority
Item
to...
6, no action? On item 6?
No action is needed,
Correct.
therefore everything remains as is.
All right.
Item B, requesting authority to advertise under Local Government Code 263-007, a sealed bid for the lease of the 168 square feet that were surplused in the building that we noted in Elsa, including approval to use a standard procurement packet utilized by Hidalgo County for all other like leases with a minimum price of no less. I did explore with 2 realty companies a fair market rental pricing that we could find, and I recommend a minimum bid of $1.10 a square foot. Per square foot, final specifications and will be approved by Mr. Valdeguerra, and the draft lease agreement will be approved as to form by legal counsel prior to the distribution of the packets.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 8, recommendation to Hidalgo County Commissioners Court to appoint designated evaluation committee to grade and score the proposed responses received for RFP number 028, professional energy consulting services from existing members of the Energy Efficiency Community Block Grant awarded by U.S. Department of Energy. This was some time ago. This is merely a starting point for you all. It's up to you. In Precinct 2, that representative is deceased and no longer is there. Precinct 4, that particular staff member has left the county. And Precinct 1 also needs a designee. So I don't know if you want to pick from that committee. They were very instrumental in carrying out a lot of projects to retrofit, for example, with fluorescent lighting as opposed LED lighting. So they may be in the best position, I feel, and recommend to the court to evaluate this energy consultant. But other than that, it's up to the court, however they want to name.
I want to appoint Mario Cano.
Mario Cano?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Cantu?
I'll appoint Mando Garza.
Okay. Commissioner, do you want to stay with Dr. Parras? Mona?
Wait a minute, first of all, Commissioner Palacio wants to appoint Marcos.
Okay.
And I guess I'll appoint Mingo or Mona, whoever wants to. You want to be
Mona
on
was
that,
on
Mingo?
it before, so she's very familiar. She was on it
Well,
before.
Put Mona then.
Okay, and Precinct 2 was Armando. Okay, would you all want anyone from the auditor's office? Ms. Fisher was on the committee. Purchasing, I had 2 members on the committee. And Department of Budget and Management, it was Mr. Salazar and Mr. Chapa. Or those 5 suffice?
No, Ms. Chapa would be my appointee.
Yours for the judge is Ms. Chapa, okay.
They're going to be appointing somebody to do what?
They're going to be grading
Grading somebody to be hired
the
to do
energy,
what?
the energy consultant, which is someone that is going to possibly put out a bid for our new energy provider,
Stuff like that.
or exploring all of the co-ops to see if they can get us the best pricing, because remember, our contract goes through this year, through November. The one with the GLO.
This is the one that we're at 12 cents on?
Correct. 11 point something.
Marty, how did we get those individuals under the auditor's office? Last time, the court approved the auditor's office?
Because it was a community block grant, and that's how you had sent Ms. Fisher. She was part of the committee.
Back
And then,
then?
of course, Mr. Sendejo was, but he's no longer in your office.
Right.
I just merely recommended that they may be in the best position to know what is entailed in energy, with an energy consultant. They don't have to be on the committee. I'm leaving it up to the court.
Right. And that's what I'm asking. So the court last time agreed to allow us to participate in this evaluation?
No, not in this type of evaluation. It was in the community block grant committee to oversee the way that we were going to spend the money
Right.
on all the projects we could apply for. So your office was included in that committee.
Last time, okay. And I guess Deborah was in Ramiro.
Because it
Ramiro's
was a
no longer
grant.
with the office, so I would like to scratch him out.
Yes, that's
And
why
just
I
leave-
just put there that he's now,
Just leave Deborah.
you want, is the court going to permit a representative from the auditor's office?
Are we just trying to get a committee of 5?
It doesn't have to be 5. It can always be more than that. It's up to you. If you want to leave it at 5, you can stay at 5. It is all entirely up to the court.
Probably ought to leave it there.
At 5 or?
Leave it at 5? Okay, so then we
Otherwise,
will,
they're going to be diluting there.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve those 5 names.
5 members from the court. Okay.
So the auditors is not in there, purchasing also not in there?
Purchasing is not in there. We oversee the project.
And DBM also not in?
Correct.
Right.
Commissioner, did you second it?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, so that takes care of A and B.
And I guess county judges, Jaime Longoria remained?
Chapa.
Ms. Chapa.
Oh, Ms. Chapa instead of Jaime?
If she's not able to be there, Mr. Longoria would be there.
Correct.
Okay, so it'll be Ms. Chapa
With
Jaime.
Mr. Longoria as an alternate.
and Erica is not,
Erica was last time, but it's now Jaime.
Okay,
I just
only-
named who was there before.
so Ms. Chapa
Right.
and Jaime will be a substitute?
Correct.
All right.
Item 9, this is approval to exercise a 30-day written notice of termination pursuant to page 5 of 9, number 15 of the contract number 103. This is the, for printing services and related supplies. We want to terminate the current contract with the vendor who has not been able to supply us any type of insurances and refuses to do so.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item B is pursuant to page 2 of 7, under 10, terms and conditions. We ask that we approve to award the applicable items under the awarded vendor under A for printing to East Stone DBA Gulf Data.
Move for approval.
He would be the next one, to absorb those items.
Marty, there'll be another one too, right?
Yes,
Gateway.
there'll be,
Eastone and Gateway.
Need a second?
and Gateway, both of them.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Then approval of an amendment as approved by legal to contract with Gateway Printing and East Stone Gulf Data Products to include those modified exhibits B1 bid page for the additional items that they are now awarded.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
D is approval of the 60-day grace period extension request is provided under the contract for both Gulf Data and Gateway to extend while we go out on the new bid. That's for D and E. I mean D, pardon me. We're on D. So I need action.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And C is requesting authority to advertise with approval of the procurement packet for printing services and related supplies.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B,
Marty, going back to item 8, so the action the court took is B, right? When they name all the individuals that are going to be as members of the committee? So A is no action, right?
it's A and B combined. A
Okay.
merely gave them
All right,
the list, and B is the actual appointment. Going on to B1, Precinct 2, requesting authority to advertise with approval of the plans and specifications developed by the Planning Department and Mr. Raul Cecin, professional engineer, for equipment and maintenance facility, parking lot, and access road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance and approval to execute the final form of professional engineering agreement with LNG Consulting Engineers, Incorporated, DBA LNG Engineering, feasibility study, preliminary PS&E, construction bid services and construction management inspection and testing for the regional hike and bike project from South San Antonio Avenue to 2nd Street.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Acceptance and approval of work authorization 1 with an estimated cost of $75,588.32 as submitted by project engineer LNG Consulting Engineers, DBA LNG Engineering, for the project that we just approved in item A.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C1 is Precinct 3, acceptance and approval to execute a professional engineering contract agreement for the provision of construction materials testing with services for Precinct 3 for Border Colonia Round 3 with LNG Consulting Engineers, and it's authorized for negotiations on December the 16th, 14.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B is approval of the work authorization 1 to the contract and a proposed fee of $6,911.10 with LNG, and that's for the various Border Colonia Access Program Round 3 projects for materials testing.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2A, presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking as qualified by Commissioners Court, the sole respondent to RFQ number 364, engineering services for inspection, materials testing, and construction management for Mile 2 North Roadway Construction Project from La Homa Road to Moorfield. We sent out numerous packets, but we had one sole respondent. I'm asking you with a score of 96.33 to declare LNG as qualified to proceed.
Approval.
Marty said there was one respondent, but it still was evaluated, even though it's only one?
I felt it was
Okay.
correct
All right.
to go ahead and make sure that they meet all the criteria.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
B is authority for purchasing to negotiate a professional services contract with the qualified firm of LNG engineers for the provision of engineering services for that Mile 2 Northway reconstruction project from La Homa to Moorfield Road.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 4, D1, recommendation for Commissioners Court to take action regarding the Sunflower Park project and cease contract negotiations with the number-ranked professional construction management firm of Prodigy Construction, as selected and ranked back in 2014, due to, and as per Urban County program, this project was funded by and through Urban County funds and ended December of 2014. There are no funds to be able to proceed with this project.
Move for approval.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4 for professional services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking the firms graded and evaluated through the county's pool. This is for professional engineering services for FM 1925 from 10th Street to McCall Road. It's a TxDOT project located in Precinct 4. The three firms were LNG 98, Building Transportation Infrastructure, DBA BTI at 93, and Fulcrum Consulting Services at 92. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their
Move
scores?
for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C is authority to commence the negotiations with the number one ranked firm of LNG for FM 1925.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
President, I'm missing a sheet of paper here. I apologize. Judge, if I could be, if I could come back after you all do your executive so I can get that information, I'm missing a page.
All right,
That would be item E, which would be my last item under.
all right. Then at this time pursuant to 55107.1 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. It's 11:50. We're going to be in executive session. All right, we're back in open session. Mr.
Okay.
Guerra?
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. 25A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, Judge Commissioners. We will proceed as directed. 25B, pending under potential litigation. There is no action at this time. 25C, proceed as directed under economic development. Item 25D, civil action number 715-CV-52, Fabian Leal, Javier Lopez, and Rene J. De Leon versus Bird Ogden Motors, Inc., Bird Ogden Chevrolet, Inc., Robert C. Vacker, Rene Guerra, Hidalgo County, Texas, and Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to refer back to item 8A1 and 2. I'm requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4, professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. I could have a motion to that effect.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 8A2, I'm requesting engagement with the firm of Preston Hendrickson for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation authority to submit a letter of engagement, as I said earlier, specific to Fabian Leal et al. Versus Hidalgo County, Bird Ogden Motors, and Bird Ogden Chevrolet, Inc., and Robert C. Backer.
You need action?
Yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 25E, civil action number 715-CV-43, Daniel Enrique Cantu versus County of Hidalgo Sheriff's Department. Again, Judge Commissioners, I'd like to refer back to item 8A1, 2, and 2. Requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4, a professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. Could I have a motion to that effect?
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 8A2, requesting engagement with the firm of Atlas Holland Rodriguez for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. Authority has submitted a letter of engagement, again specific to civil action 715-CV-43, Daniel Enrique Cantu versus County of Hidalgo Sheriff's Department.
Move for approval. You need action on that?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 25F, C 2749-13-G, Liliana Ruelas and Deyanira Ruelas versus Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department and Gilbert Flores. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to tender the balance of our SIR to Travelers Insurance Company in settlement of this claim.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
As always, we will have an accounting to the Auditor's Office for processing of the SIR.
All right.
Item G, claim of John J. Rodriguez and Desiree Rodriguez. There is no action to be taken today. Item 25H, claim of Daniel Foray. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to make a settlement offer in the amount of $4,277.43. If acceptable, the check would be made out to Travelers Insurance Company.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, there's no more action to be taken under open session as for these items, and I do believe we still have one pending item under our
And
regular Commissioners
item
Court.
23E1.
Yes. Thank you, Judge. Sheriff's Office's presentation of bids received as detailed in the tabulation sheet contained herein, meeting all specifications and requirements for the purposes of award and approval of a contract for a request on sealed quotes which will not exceed $50,000. This is Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office kitchen equipment and appliances, maintenance and repair services through number project 024. 4 packets were sent out, 2 bids were received, 1 did not qualify. The one qualifying bid is to Hobart, of which we are recommending.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Need a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Jim.